Hello everybody. In this screencast we're going to solve this in-class assessment which focuses on JSON parsing using Alamofire, Swifty JSON, displaying pictures using Kingfisher, straightforward, and we also have UI table views and so on. Alright, so if we look at, you are already provided with the skeleton app, so let's have a look at it. So basically here is the skeleton app. I tried to open it and it shows a new version of iOS which I don't have. And it seems that when I try to build it, it's crashing. All right, so it says there is no target. You try to pick a target, you can't find one. Let's say we reduce it to, let's say 17.2, which is something I have. Now I click here. I do have a target for that. Let's pick a iPhone 15 Pro and I try to run it. And let's say it's gonna build. Hopefully it will build, but there is a fail. Oh, perfect. Okay, so now it's saying that these packages are not available, even though I already have the package resolution error. It can't find them. Okay. In order to resolve them, so what I'm going to do is, you see here it says that it can't find them in package resolved. Okay, cool. So now what I will do is you go to your terminal and open up where this project is. So basically I have, where is that project? So we go here and I click here, show in Finder. Here's the project. Go here, CD, and I need to go up one level to the, okay, I will go into the folder here. Here it is. Okay, here we are. And now this, if you see that the X, this file, which is the Xcode proj, this is a folder, CD gift.xcode proj, you see here. And then basically under that you see that there is a project.x workspace, so basically there is project cd project.x workspace, and then under that there is under x share data, xc share data, and then there is a Swift PM here. This is the package management. Okay, so we can do to Swift PM, and then basically you can just remove -rf the package dot resolved. And now when you go back here and you try to build again, let's say product build clean build folder, and I'm gonna clean. Here we are, and now it should resolve them. Okay, build, still failed. Fine, go here, package dependencies, here are the packages. It should be able to fold. So let's close this, right? And then look again when it's closed. Now open it again. So I deleted the folder. Now it's fetching. You see it was fetching them, so it found them. And when we run it, so basically let's wait. It's fetching them, life is good, and we're good to go. So basically what you have to do is just close that file, close it, and then go in to print working directory. It tells you exactly where it is in the error, but you need to go into your project, right? And then there is an Xcode proj, and then under that X workspace, and then X share data, and then Swift PM. Perfect. So now we're able to do that. Good. That's resolved. Go back here and go here. And basically the app itself has a login screen. You log in, you go into a gift lists application. Perfect. And then in the gift lists, we're going to focus on the first screen. The first screen is the list of gifts. So basically gift lists. So a gift list is, before we do anything, I think I need to create an account so I can use Postman to do things. But anyway, so here we are. There is a login. I'll click on login, and you log in and you get a token, right? And then basically there is a sign up screen. You can sign up. This is all, the login and sign up are already implemented. But when you go to lists, you click on that and it shows you JSON where you have lists, and then inside each list, you see inside each list, it has an ID, has a name, and has a list of items that are inside that gift list, right? You think of it as a Christmas gift list or something like that. But here we are. See here, you log in and it takes you here. You can log out. Now let's create an account. So create sign up. I'll go in and I'll do Alice Smith, and we'll call her Alice at alice.com. Alice alice.com. Password is test123 and click on submit. Here we are. So now I will log in also here in to get the token. So basically I'll go here, I'll say this is Alice, and save, send, and I get a token, right? So why I need this, use this token when I go to gift lists, and you see here in the header there is a token. I pasted my token, press enter, good to go, click on send. I don't have any lists. Good. This is a user we just created. Control A, Control C. I'll in the lists I'm going to update it. Also in the products I'm going to update it. Let me update it everywhere because this header is needed. You can address this by creating a variable inside Postman that you assign to it the token, and then it can propagate all over. But I didn't do that here. Anyway, Control V. And then similarly add item, there is a header. Control V, remove item, also there is a header. Control V, save. So basically we have all the APIs. Which one is that? Save. Okay. Gift lists, the header. Where is it? Control V, send, and save. So here is the gift list. Okay. Now there is another one. There is another API where you create new gift lists. So let's have a look here. And basically it has one parameter, right? The two parameters: the name of the list and product IDs. The IDs you want to add in comma separated form. Right. So click on send here. Now this added. It supposedly added something. So here there is one list. Let's go in and add another list. Let's say list 2. Click on send. Now I have two lists. So go here. I click on send. I should be able to see two lists. So you see here the first list, and then there's a second list. Cool. All right. So now I know that when I'm going to parse this inside the when I go back here inside the view controller called gift lists view controller. Here is that. And I know I'm going to parse it. So I need inside here to create some models. So the first model is going to be a new file. Let's call it a gift list. We call it a gift list. We'll call it models. This is my models class, and inside it I'm going to create or let's say we go in refactor, rename this one to let's delete it. Move to trash. Go in, create a new file. Call it gift list. Here's that. Create another one, also a new file. I call it, for example, see, the thing is that you have this supposed to represent a gift list. So basically a gift list has a name, has an ID, and has a list of products inside it. You see here it has a product ID, the name of the product, the price of the product, and so on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a class to hold the information for the gift list, and then inside that class there is an array of items. So these items are products, right? So basically I'm going to call it gift product or gift list product or something. Gift product or something. Gift list product, right? Here it is. And I'm going to just use the same. Here is that. I'm going to say class gift list. Here it is. And basically I'm going to use the same naming that they have here. Here's this. So basically it has a GID, which is a string. So basically I'll go in var or let GID string. Right, that's this. Let name as a string also, and then also var. Let's say var products or items as an array of gift list items. So we need also to create the class for the other one, which is this one. Class of this. Here's that, and then this is the product. So here is the product. Here it is. Control C, And similarly, this is the product, and basically a product has let PID. I think I use vars PID. I don't think I need, they never change, so let PID string, let count as an integer, let name as a string, let price, it says it's called price per item, but I'll just call it price as a double, right? I know it's a string, but I will need to change it to a double. Let image URL as a string. Cool, so that's this. We need an init. There's that. And basically that init, what I'm going to do is I am going to take that init to be JSON. So basically I need Swifty JSON. Swifty JSON is not there, so I need to import Swifty JSON. There it is. So basically I'm going to send you JSON, and that's going to be JSON. There is that. And then the PID is going to be JSON of dot string value. All right, and that becomes the PID. Similarly, the count, it's going to be count integer value, int value. All right, good. And then similarly the name and so on. So I'm doing the same exact thing over and over again. There's this, and this is string value, by the way, so let's copy this one. This is string value, this is string value. The URL is image URL here, the name is name, and then the price is going to be a double value. So basically we go from here, and we're good to go. We parsed the JSON. All right, we're good here. So let's look at it again. PID equal to JSON string value, count, this is count, we want it to be count. There's that, and count, we're good to go. So basically we have the product lists, here it is. Same story we're going to do here. And this is gonna be gift list products. Okay, it's initialized. Now we go in and do an init. Here it is, and we'll do the same thing. Swifty JSON. Is that, and score JSON, and okay, so this one is going to be JSON of whatever, and this is GID dot string value. Similarly, the name is called name, and then the items, what we're going to do is we need to get let let's say we call these products, okay, so we'll do let items equal to JSON of, and it's items. How do I know? It's from here, from the JSON. It's called items, right? Items dot array, right? Array value, there is that. And then we'll do for each item in items. Okay, here it is. And basically what we're going to do is we'll do let product to be equal to gift this product with item, and we're good. And now we just do products dot append product. All right, here's that. We're good to go. Now the other thing also to keep in mind is that it's if you read the documentation, each product comes with number of count of products that are in the list, and also the price per product. What we need to display is the total number of items, not only products, but total number of items. So we need to add up these counts in order to display this. In addition, the total cost, which is the count times the price per item plus the count times price per item, so you have to sum it over all of them. So I'm already looping. So what is happening here is this needs to be an equal sign. Good. Now I'm looping. So what I could do is I can have a variable here that I call for example, the total count. And call it as a integer. Right? So it's an integer equal to 0, and a variable which is called the total cost, which is a double, and it's equal to 0.0. Right. So basically, what we could do is we could come in here and total count cost equal to 0, total count equal to 0, and then here what I could do is the total count equal to product dot count plus the total count, right? Okay, and then similarly the total cost equal to the total cost plus, and then we'll do some math, but let's make it like this so that it's consistent with what we have here, right? And then we need the product dot count times the product dot price. Okay, so we have now the total cost also variable here. Good. So now are we done with parsing? So now we need to cast some things, fix that. We're good here. Okay, good. So we are done with parsing, by the way. Now we just need to make the API calls and we're good to go. So now I need to make the API call and pass on the header information and so on. So I'll close this, and we are, let's say, the gift lists. So get here, I create a function. I call it get gift lists. All right, here we are. I know that I will need to have an array of var gift lists equal to gift lists. So I have the array of gift lists, and I'll go here. We'll say gift lists dot remove all, right? And then we do some interesting stuff. All right, that's that. Let's go to Alamofire. I need to make a request. It's a get request or a post request. It's a get request. Cool. So now let's go back here. It has no parameters. So now if we go back to the login, where is the login screen here? The login screen, it has some kind of Alamofire stuff here. So I'm going to copy whatever we have here. And I'm going to paste it here, but at the same time I'm going to import Alamofire, import Swifty JSON. Here we are. Yes. And now what I'm going to do is, I don't have any parameters. Hood also, you need a speaker hood. Okay, so import pk hood. There's that. Okay, good. So I have all the imported material. That's great. Now, do I have to make header requests? So now let's look here, and there is header HTTP headers. Here is that. And to create headers, you have to do something like this. That's what I need. Here is that. There are no parameters for this kind of request, so I'm going to remove the parameters from the picture. Here is that. And it's a get request, right? So it's a get request, not a post request. Authorization, we have bearer. So now go back here, and here is it's bearer space, and then you provide the token. So basically the token, all right, here it is. That's the authorization. Headers, and then basically all you have to do is in here you just pass on the headers. Here is that headers. We have the headers passed on, and then basically here is the URL. Here's the URL, and this is all just validation successful. Logging in, getting gift lists. Please wait. So here it is, and then comes in, and I'm not going to do all of that stuff. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to print the JSON that I'm receiving, just to make sure that I'm getting the JSON. All right, so here's that, and I'm going to call this here. Okay, here's that, and let's run it. Okay. All right. Now let's have a look at the log. Here's the log, and we're able to get the list items. Perfect. So now let's start parsing. So basically, if we look at the JSON that comes in, it's a JSON object. Inside it, I'm interested in this lists array. So basically I can go in here, I can do a let the lists array equal to the JSON of lists dot array. All right, here we are. That gets you an array of JSON objects. Each object is a JSON, is a gift card, right? Is a gift list, right? Here it is. So basically I need to loop over it for each item in lists array. And then that item is a JSON object, by the way. Okay, so now what I could do is I could say let gift list equal to gift list and pass it the item. That takes care of everything. So now, and then we go in and do the gift lists. Right, here is that. Dot append. We can remove everything from it here. I can remove everything here. If everything is successful, I can go in, let's say here, let's do this here, remove it, and then we just say gift lists append gift lists. All right, good. And now after all of this is said and done, I'm just gonna print here just to show you that things are happening. Go here, let's run it. Now it's not happy, it needs self, right? So because it's another block. All right, here we are. And we run it. I put a breakpoint here. I should be able to see the gift lists populated. Here it is. Now when you look at self gift lists, and I have two gift lists. Here's the ID, the name of it. Then there are a list of products inside it. This is the ID. This is each product has the ID, count, name of the product, the price of the product, and the URL, the image URL that we need. Perfect. So I have that. We're good to go. Now what we need to do is we need to go in and develop the adapter stuff, right? So now if we go back, you will see that we need some kind of a custom cell to display this. The cells are already provided. See here, there is a gift view cell. Here is that. This cell is already provided. Okay, good. So now what I'm gonna do is I need its name. Give you cell. I need to add it to or register it to the table view. So I'm gonna do that here, and let me check the layout to see if I have a connector to the table view in here or no. Go here, and that's this screen. Go in the assistant. Here is the table view. Control, drag and drop. Here's that, and let's go back again to gift lists. Here is that. Okay, so now we do self.tableview dot register. All right, then we need a new inib with a name, and the bundle is nil, just to give it the default bundle nil. The cell identifier is going to be this. To make sure, I go here and make sure that the cell reuse identifier is set to the same name as the class, so that I will just to be consistent here, right? So we have that already here. Now we just need the extensions. Make sure that also that table is associated with let's see, is it associated data source? Is the data source, the delegate, right? Same thing with this guy. Let's do the data source and delegate for the table, so that we don't have to repeat ourselves. Here is that, and then I'm going to drag also table view here. I know I'm going to use it, so same thing with this guy. Here the table, drag, drop table view, and the data source and the delegate. Perfect. Okay, good. Go back here. Now we need the extension. Gift list view controller, UI table view delegate, UI table view data source. Good to go. and now it's going to ask for some things. We're going to fix it. So here we are, fix, and let cell equal table view dot dq. There's that, and the index path is index path. Return cell. Let gift list to be equal to gift lists dot of index path dot row. Alright, so we have all of that stuff. There's another function which is the count, the section, the number of rows in section, right? Okay, return gift lists dot count. So we're good here, and the delegate is already set up for it. We're good also here. Now if we run it, something should show up, right? So basically if we run it, we'll see at least like some list of items, right? Then we can go and add the data to it. So here it is. Okay, validation is successful. Cool. So then when the validation is successful, we need to notify the adapter. So basically we need to tell the table view to reload the data, right? Here we are, self.tableview dot reload the data, run it again, and now you'll see that the table view has the data. Perfect. So now we just need to add the name and the count and all that interesting stuff. All right, so good. Here we are, cell.name label. So basically I think it's called the gift. Let's see, what is it called? I have them already set up. Name label. All right, good. So basically cell as, sorry, we need to say as here, name label dot text equal to gift list dot name, cell dot label total cost label dot text equal to something here, cell dot total label total item count dot text equal to something. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, let's look at the diagram and see. So we need 2 items. This number of items is going to be 2 items. The count is going to be gift list dot count, total count items, total cost is $, gift list dot total cost. Right, so we're good here, no space here, so we're good. Now if we run it, let's see what happens. We run this. There's this 3 items, 103, another one is 103. Good. So now the delete. Good. So now the delete is something we need to do, but in order to do the delete, because the button is here, we need to have some kind of a delegate, right, that we set up, you know. All right. So let's see what we're going to do here. So basically I am going to create this here protocol and call it, for example, the gift cell delegate or something. All right, and then we'll do a function, some function definition, void delete gift list, right? And you're gonna give me a gift list that you want to delete. So basically, in order to delete a gift list, let's see what is needed. So in order to delete, you need in the body the gift list ID. So basically we'll just have GID, it's a string. That's basically what we're going to do here. And then found declaration, no void. Here is that. Here's this. Okay, so delete the gift list item. So basically I need to pass you the gift list ID here so that you can use it, right? So I'm going to do a var GID string question mark. That's one thing. And then when you delete, what I'm going to do is I also need a delegate. So var cell delegate, and that's going to be of this type. All right, so here we are. So now what I'm going to do is I'll check to see self.cellDelegate dot this, and then we'll do self.gid question mark. Cool. So I'm going to call the delegate and so on. So now where do we set up this delegate and so on, and who implements the delegate? It's going to be the gift list here. Extension, we can do another extension, gift lists view controller, and let's add the delegate. Good to go. And now there is a method that we have to implement. It will tell you stubs and blah blah blah, and here is the method and fix. Good. So that's one, right? Now what we're going to do is in the cell we're going to say cell dot cell delegate equal to self, right? Cell dot gid is equal to gift list dot gid. Cool. So now we set up the gid and so on. So now when you click, it triggers the deletion, right? So basically we go here, I'm just gonna print gid and it should show up, right? So let's run this just to see if the wiring is okay. Here we are. You click on the delete and you see the ID. Click on the other one, you see the ID. Now all what I have to do is just trigger the delete. So basically what I'm going to do is, this is get lists, right? I'm gonna create another function. I'll call it, for example, delete list, and there's gonna be delete gift list, and it's gonna have gid string. All right, cool. So we have the gid that you want to delete. Now this is a post or a get request. This is a post request. See here, it's a post request, and it needs a parameter, very similar to the login screen. So if we go to the login screen, it is a post request. So I'm gonna copy this stuff from here. This is the parameters. Right, we go back here, and here's the parameters. And I know that the first, it's only one parameter, which is the gid itself. Here is that. Control C. It's only gid. Here is that, and here is it. It is gid. Perfect. And then we want to say it's a post request, and here's the headers, and then we go do the parameters. Post, let's say parameters, and the parameters are the parameters, comma. So we're good. What's the URL? Here is the URL. And basically all we are doing is that here's the URL, and then maybe we can say deleting gift list. Right, here's that. Please wait. And then once it's done, it's on success. I don't need all of this. Once it's done, I need to reload the list, right? So basically that's what they want us to do, is to reload the whole list again. So what I'm going to do is get gift lists. That's what I'm going to do. On success, just get gift lists. All right. And this is a closure explicit, so we need self. Okay, self dot get gift lists. Now who calls this function? It's here. We are here. Get delete gift list, so we call that. So basically we'll just call it call, right? Call API to delete gift list, right? Because it's the same name, it just has the same name. Here's that, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna call it. Alright, so we're good here. When you click, we're gonna call the function. Here is the function. It's a post request. Here it is. These are the parameters passed it, which is the gid, and the headers, same story. You do it, you get the result back, and we run it. Let's see, we run this. And so basically here is the list. Click on delete. You see it's going to be alright, cool. So it works. So we are able to, if you look here at the documentation, we finished the first two parts. The first part is to call to get the list using the API and display things correctly. The delete is also working. Now the next one is create. So basically when you go here, we wanna, let's see what's happening here. Why is it crashing? But when you go here, we wanna go to create a gift list. This one, right? So we're gonna create a gift list. All right, so it's not happy for some reason. If we look here, yeah, because we set up the table views without setting up the actual delegates and so on, or the actual data source and correctly. So let's see. So if we go back to this screen, there is another view that we're going to use. So there is a table view here, right? And then there is this cell that we're going to use, and this is the cell. It's called the product table view cell, this one. Let me check something. So let's go here. Let's check the reuse identifier. Just make sure that you specify it here. Good. I just will make it exactly the same name, okay, as the as the class name and the nib name. Okay, so basically here I have a table view dot register, and this is an UI nib with a name. Here's the name. Bundle is nil. Reuse is this. Okay, good. So we are good here, and we are good here. Now we need to be able to get the list of products. So now when you go here, there are these products, right? These are the list of products that we're interested in. Products, right? Now this is the API call. It's a GET request, very similar to what we did before, but you see here the products are these. Okay, so I'm going to copy this. I'm going to create another file which is called products. So product, and we're going to create a class product. Here it is. Here we are. Here we go. It has a string PID. So we have a var or let PID is a string. Let name also is a string. Let image URL is a string. And let price is a double. Alright. And then we're going to import Swifty JSON and create an init with them, and then basically I'm going to go in here and do JSON. Here is the PID, which is going to be the name, image URL, and the price. So here is, this is PID, this name, image URL, and here is the price, double dot value. Cool. So we are done with this. So basically this is a string, so it needs to be alright. Here it is. Price, here it is. So we are able to get this, and we're good to go. But now notice that if we're going to parse, so we're going to call the API, it's going to get us this data, but also we need to manage the count, right? So we need to also manage the count. So I'll have let count, which is in integer. I'll make it equal to 0, but this is going to change, so I'm going to make it a var, because when you if you see, ultimately when you click these plus sign and minus sign, you want to bump up that count, so we're going to maintain it inside that class, right? Alright, good. So we are good here, and we can even initialize it here. Say self.count equal to 0. Good. So we're good with this, right? So now we have the product already set up. So we have an array of products here. So we have var products equal to of product, right? And here it is. Now we can build the extension, right? Or we can do the API call. So we could have a function called it get products. So here we are. Okay. Now I can go to the gift list views, and we had get gift lists, right? Here is that. Control C, and I can do the same thing here. I can just paste it here, and it's exactly very similar function. So I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna cut all of that stuff from here, paste it here. I don't need this function. I need to import some things, so I'm gonna do import Alamofire, import Swifty JSON, import pkhood, pkhood. Here it is. Okay, good. We're good here. And getting products. So I'm gonna say getting products. Please wait. Let me get the URL. Here is the URL. Control C and Control V, and the authorization header is exactly the same approach. We do this, and then all of that stuff we are here. We, instead of this one, we are going to do the products. Just let's say Control C, all the products, remove them. We do an array. We go in. There is an array that we're interested in. It's called products. Here's that. Here is it. Or we call it the products array. Let's say. Okay, here's the products array. Here's the products array. For each item in the products array, we'll say this is a product, and we go here and say products. Okay, and products, and we're gonna add to it the product, and then we tell the table to reload. Okay, looks good. It should look good. I think we can go in and put a breakpoint here. It's not gonna work because we need to set up the delegate. So let's set up the delegate extension. This is create gift list, and then we have a UI table view delegate, and then UI table data source. Alright, here we are. Alright, and then we need to add the subs. So let's sell equal table view dot dq identifier and index path. Which one did we register? Here it is. Fix this, and then we're going to return self.products.count. Okay, we're good here. Now if we run it, it's not going to crash. And now we need to call this function here. Alright, let's run it and see. Here it is. So I'm gonna reuse some of the code that we wrote already. So here we are, and I click on the plus sign and it's showing up. Good. So we click on the plus sign and it's showing up something, right? So here are the items that we can click on, and basically we just need to set up the images and so on, right? So here it is. So now let's do this. So let's say cell dot label, the cost label dot set text dot text equals, here's the cost. Okay, so now we have a cost and we have a name, I think, and a count, right? So we go item count label, and that's gonna be 0. Or we can get it from the product. So basically we could say product dot count, right? So do something like this, and then the cost label is a $sign with, if you look at this, it's $sign and the cost. So basically we go here, the price, and then we have the name. The name label, which is gonna be, alright, now if we run it, we should be able to see that. And then in order to display the picture, we'll go to Kingfisher. Here's Kingfisher, and then let's see how do we load the picture, and we're gonna load it something like this. We just need to import Kingfisher and we're good to go. Alright, so if we go here and click on the plus sign, we're showing them. Perfect. So now all we have to do is just import Kingfisher and use the extension. There it is. Now this is the URL. The URL is going to be the URL we have from product.image URL. And then basically the image view is cell.image product image view. There's that, and we're good to go. So now when we run it, we should be able to see Kingfisher. Here it is. We click on the plus sign, and here we are. We get the images. We're good to go. So now if we go back here, we're able to parse, we're able to get the data, and I need to compute the overall cost. Perfect. So now the overall cost is the number of items for multiplied by the price per item, added over all the items that you have items for, or you have a count that is greater than 0 for. All right, good. So now in order to do this, what I'm going to do is I am going to create a function which I could use. Say function, call it for example cal or compute total cost, something like that. All right. And that function, let's have two variables. Let's say a variable total cost, and it's double, and make it equal to 0.0. All right. And basically it comes in, it says total cost is equal to 0, and then it goes for each. So we need a for each item in, or each product in products, right? Total cost equal to total cost plus then product dot get product dot price times product dot count, right? And then this needs to be a double, but anyway, so here we are, and then we do self dot label. Do we have a label for this? Yes, we should have a label for it, but let's see how we fix it. Fix that, and now we just need to make sure we have a label. So go back here, go back to the main, and then try to see this overall cost and the label. Are they wired to anything? No, I don't think they're wired. See if we go here, only the table view, navigation. Okay, good. So we go here, we call this overall cost label, and this is the name, right? So basically here, this is the name text field, right? Here it is. So we have both of them wired up. Good. So now when we do calculate the create, what is that here? Create, we have that function compute, right? So basically here, and then basically all we have to do is just say that self dot label overall cost label dot set text equals total cost. All right, good. So we do this here, and we're good to go. So now where are we going to call this? I'm just going to call it when the list comes in. So basically I don't need to call it here, but anyway, I'm going to call it here. Self dot this, and then we're going to call it every time you click on this plus and minus signs that we're going to handle in a little bit. Here's that. We're good here. Click on the plus sign, and now we're good. So we're able to display them. We can format this. I don't think we need to worry about that now. And now we want to handle the plus and minus sign clicking. Good. So now we're able to parse. So we're done with the parsing. Now the plus and minus sign, we have to go back and create a delegate. So we go back to the product cell view here, and we create a delegate. So basically here it is. We just create a protocol. We call it the product delegate, right? And when we have a function, we say increment clicked, and in order to increment, I need from you to send me which product do you click on, right? So basically, I wanna update that product, but let's say I send you back. I'll send you the product here, you increment it here. So in that case, I don't need to worry about, I don't even need a delegate. So basically when you click, I'm just going to send you the product. So basically when you are here, I'm going to send a product in here. And that's just a reference to the product. And then once it's sent to you, you are able to increment. When you increment it, it increments directly into the app. But I also need to trigger the function. So that's why I need to, anyway, so let's do this. So what I'm going to do is, we'll go back to this product cell view, and we'll create the protocol. Okay, and we'll call it the product protocol or delegate. All right, here it is, and we have a function. Say for example, product. Let's say clicked, right? Product increment. And you're going to send me back the product. Okay, so that's one, and basically that's Control C. Okay, that's one decrement, and you're sending a product. Good. So basically, product decrement clicked and product increment clicked, and then this is the delegate, and we'll call it the product delegate. Okay, here it is. Put a question mark here. So then when you click, and you're gonna send me a product. So var and the product as a product. Okay. And then basically when you click on the plus sign, I'll say if product is okay. I'm not gonna do that, but anyway, I'm going to just call it. So basically, I'm going to say self dot product delegate dot. This is the plus is clicked, so then I will say self dot product and so on. So I'm going to do something like this when you click on the increment, and then you click on this when you decrement. So basically, decrement clicked. I will say this is the minus, and this is the product increment. Here's that, and then basically this delegate is going to be implemented by this guy here. All right, and you get two functions. Fix, and you get the product. So basically, because you have the product, what I could do is I could just say product dot increment. I can create a function which does that. I could say product dot count is equal to product dot count plus 1. You know, that's how you increment. And then the decrement is just decrement. So here is that copy, paste, -1. We just have to check to see if the product dot count is greater than 0. Then we're gonna do this. Here is that. Okay, so that's what's gonna happen. And then after all of this is said and done, we just say compute the total cost. And similarly, I'm gonna compute also total cost, and you need to tell the table to reload, right? Because you are updating the count, and the count is being displayed in the table, you just tell it to reload, and it's going to reload. So let's see. This is the plus and minus part of the story, right? So here we are. Click on the plus here, and you see that it's not happy for some reason. Oh yeah, we need to set up the delegate. So basically, you promised to have a delegate sent to the cell. So basically, we need to do that here. Cell dot product delegate dot equals self cell dot product equal product. Right, so we can send it the product also. So now we run it, and then we'll see. Okay, here it is. Click on the plus sign, clicking here, you see here it's going up, it's going up, it's going up, going down, and going down all the way to 0, right? So then even when you click, nothing happens after that selection, but here it is, it's working, the plus and minus are working. Perfect. So now, and the calculate count and all of that stuff is done, right? So we are done with that. So now if we go back here, what is left is the submission, right? So in order to submit, so we're able to do all of this. We're able to do the plus and minus, and now we're going to do the submit. Okay, good. So now in order to do the submit, we need to validate something. So basically, let's make sure of some. Is the cell wired? Let's see. The button, is that button wired, and the cancel are not? So let's do this. Okay, here I will go from here to here, and this is the submit clicked, right, and then cancel clicked also. Okay, cool. So now this is done here. We are in the create part of the story, and we don't need these extensions anymore. All right, submit and cancel. So now we can get the name. To let our var name let name to be equal to self dot name field dot text. Okay, so that's this, and then All right. Now I also need to know how many items are added, and items that are added are items that have a count greater than 0, right? So I need to know how many items. I can use the cost if I assume that items are only added if they have a price not equal to 0. So what I will do is I'll also create a variable total count. I'll make it double to be equal to 0, and let's make it integer. All right. And then basically I'll just, when you update the count, I'm just gonna do the same thing here. Total count equal to 0, and then basically here the equation will be total count equal to total count plus the product dot count. All right, good. Now when you submit, I can check to see if name is empty, or if name is empty, I'm going to display an error message. I'm not going to do the alert dialog here, but I'll say, for example, name is empty, name is required, or something like that, right? And then I can also do the same thing. I could say else if total count else if total count is equal to 0, then select a product, right? I can go here and say please select a product, please add products, right? So that's this one, and then else, then we're ready to go. And now we ask ourselves, what is the add? So now the new is the function, and it has two parameters, the name and the product ID, right? And the product ID is a comma separated list of the product IDs. You see here there's 1, comma, second, and so on, right? So basically all what I need to do is just to loop over the products, right? And add them based on their count. So if you have a count of 3 products of the same item, then you need to add the ID 3 times. Okay, good. So now in order to do that, I need to loop over for each product in products, right? So that gives you the products, right? So that's 1. So I have the product now, right? Now I need also an array of strings, so I'll do var IDs equal to string array. All right, here we are. Now what I'm going to do is that for each I in product dot count, right? So that loops over it, right? So now we're going to all from I to the count. And this is 0 0 0, okay, dot dot dot, okay. So I'm gonna loop from 0 all the way to the count, right? So now I can print here and see if this works, right? So basically I can go in and see if this is gonna work or no, right? So basically I'm going to say, let's say print, and just to show you what I'm trying to do here, product dot count, right? And then here I'm just going to print I, just to show you what I'm trying to do here. Okay, so now let's run it and see what I'm trying to do here. Okay, here it is, and I click on the plus sign, add 1 2 3, and click on submit. I should see I click on submit, name is required. Okay, so let's add a name. There's a name, test, right? And I click on it again, and you see here that 3 there are the product has this product has 3 items, and 0 1 2 3 is I. So basically I can say I here. You see what I'm trying to do here. Let's run it again, and you can see that I am the values are fine, so if you go here, click on plus, I added 1 2 3, and I click on submit, name is required. Okay, here's the name, and I click on submit. You could see that 3 I is being printed, 0 I is being printed too. So basically the issue is that if it's 0, I don't need the I to be printed, so I will need to let's do this. I think you do something like this, less than the count, something like that, and that takes care of Yeah, this way. So then it's okay. So now we run this 1 2 3 and you click submit. Name is required again. Okay, so you click submit. You see here 3 and then 1 2 3 and then 0 0 0. It doesn't go into that loop if the count is 0, right? So we're good. So now here what I'm going to do is that I'm going to do IDs dot append product dot PID. So now these IDs now will be strings that represent the IDs that we need to concatenate, right? So basically what I need to do is let string or the ID product IDs to be equal to the IDs dot joined with the separator. The separator is going to be a comma, and that becomes my. And then if you look at IDs dot joined with, it returns a string. You see here it returns a string. Good. So we're good. This is a string. We have our string. We're good to go. Now I can go here and do a print for you just to see it. I can print the string. The product IDs. Now we run this. Try again. Here we are. Click on the plus sign. 1 2 3 and add a name. Click submit. And here is the IDs 1 2 3. Now let's say we make it 2 or 1, gives you 1. You make it 1 and another one, here is 2, right? And another one, there are 3. So it works. So basically we are able to get the product IDs. Now we look at it, what's needed. It's a post request. What post request I have made recently? The delete. So basically if you go back to the gift lists view controller, there is gift lists, there's a delete one. There's a delete feature here. Call API. Okay, so this is the call API gift list. This is the call delete, right? So basically, let me refactor rename this so that we know what we're talking about. Call the delete API, right? So basically, call. All right, so that's this. Just this is the gift list. I'm just going back. I know, but anyway, this is I copy that. Control C. Go back in again. This is the part where we are going to submit, so let's add that somewhere here. All right, so this is then I'm going to do this is call add new API. All right, now we ask what is needed. There is a name and the product IDs, so we need a name and the product IDs. So go here. Alright, so now these are going to be the parameters. You see here it's name and product IDs. Control C, Control V, Control V, Control V. And then also we need the name. Alright, we're good. What's the URL? This is the URL. Creating gift list, we'll worry about that in a little bit, right? Okay, here it is. Call the API. All you need to provide to call the API is the name and okay, good. So now we go here and product ID. So we'll go call or self.call name and the product IDs. Okay, we're good. Yes, and we are good. We're good here and we're good here. Good. Now, what happens if we didn't select anything? So let's go back here and see if this is the case. Let's say we go here, you click on submit. Yeah, it will tell you that you need to select something. So if we go back up here, see, please add a product. Good, 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 good. All right, good. So now we are able to safely submit, and then after we are done, we probably have to dismiss the screen. So let's say if we do here dismiss, and basically we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to dismiss. Okay, now we go back and run and see what's going to happen. Here it is. You add, let's say test 1, 1, 2, and 3, and submit. Good. So basically this means it got added. Let's see if it got added. So I'll go call the API here. Perfect. So now when you added it, I'd like to tell the previous screen to reload, right? So basically you see here, you add another one. Let's say we say test 2, add 2 items here. I click on submit. I want this guy to reload, right? So in order to tell this guy to reload, I'll use a notification, right? So let's use the notification center approach. All right. So now let's try to do that. So when you are submitting, I will also do notification center. So I'll do that. Submit, call. If everything looks good here, do notification center dot default dot post, and we'll do notification dot name, and we'll add a string. They say, for example, reload gift list notification. Okay, and the object that you're going to send is nothing. I'm just going to say nothing. I'm not going to send a notification, right? So just this is the notification. I just need to make a post, right? And on the other side of the spectrum, Control C, inside the other view controller, which is the gift lists view controller here, I needed to register. Okay, so we go here. Needed to notification center dot default dot add observer. All right, and I am going to use this one. Okay, the observer itself, selector. I need here obj function reload data notification. I don't remember if this is the case, but yeah, I think it looks something like this. Then the selector, you do okay, here it is. The notification name is this. Here it is, the notification name. And then the object is nil. Here's that. Okay. Now you will receive a notification to reload. So let's say print. Alright, let's run this and see if the notification is posted here and received on the other side. So let's go here. You add +++, submit, name required. Here is test 3, submit, notification received. See, reload received. Perfect. So now what we need to do in here is to just reload it. So basically get gift lists. That's what we're going to do. So now when you run it, you will see that you get the notification, we reload the list, we're good to go. So we're here, we click on one of them here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, submit. Our name is required, this is TEST number 4. Click on submit, and you see here it loaded. Perfect. So we are done with adding and submitting and validating. Perfect. So now display the list and overall cost correctly. This is the last part where you click on the list and you need to send that list across and do stuff. So let's see. How are we going to do this? So what we want to do is when you click on the list, we want that list to move ahead. Perfect. So go back to the gift lists view controller. We set up we are going to the gift list view controller here. and basically we are going to receive a gift list. So basically we just need to do this gift list. Here's that's what we're going to receive. And let's see if we're able to capture the delegate here. So let's see, when you click, what is the segue called? Go to gift list details, something like that. Segue, that's the name of the segue. Here is that, and what I'm going to do is in the gift lists index here, table views did select route item. I'll just do perform segue. Self dot perform segue with identifier. Here is that sender is self, and then here prepare for segue. Prepare if segue dot identifier is equal to this. Perfect. So then what I'm going to do is that let the index path be equal to the table view dot index path of selected row. Perfect. Let gift list equal to self gift lists of index path dot row, right? And then let vc equal to the view controller. We're going to segue dot destination as gift list view controller. vc dot gift list equal to gift list, right? And then basically we could do self dot table view deselect item at index path and animated, let's say, to here. So we are sending it. Go ahead and we should go to the next screen. Now it's not, the next screen is going to crash because it's going to receive something but it doesn't know what to do, right? So we're here, you click, and of course because we don't have the delegate set up and so on, right? But we are able to go, right? Okay, now let's set up the delegate and see what we can do here. Okay, so now in here we are going to use the product, because you see here when you go to this screen you are still displaying products, right? Okay, but the products that are inside the gift list, right? Okay, good. Okay, so now in order to do this, let's go back to the gift list view controller, or the, let's say, the create. So in the create we did register some things. Let's copy that here. It's very similar. So we'll go here, gift list view controller. We want to register the table here. In addition, we also need a list of items. So what did we call the list of items? Here we call them products, right? So I'm going to call it something a little bit different. I'll copy that stuff from here. I am going to paste it here. And then similarly also it has a name label, name text field, and a table view, and I'm going to copy that stuff from here also, and even the outlets, you know, but I'm going to change things a little bit. This is going to be the name label, right? The name label, and it's going to be a UI label, right? So I'm going to do that also here. Okay, and I have a gift list, I have a product, but this product is the product inside the gift list. So if you go look at the gift list, there is products that are inside the gift list, so it's an array of products. So that's what I'm going to do here, something like this, gift list product. And then okay, now let's go back to create gift lists here, and we will not call the API to start with. We just need compute cost. That's one. I'm gonna call that, and I am going also to copy these delegates here. Okay, now this is the gift list view controller. Here is that, and products.count is fine, and then you get product at product blah blah blah, but then sell.product. So now there are two kinds of products. There's a product and there's a gift list product, right? So basically I want to reuse this. So the product table view cell, it has two things. It has a var product, and I also have, I'll create a var product gift list product, or gift list product as a gift list product, right? So you have these two, gift list product, right? And question mark. And we're gonna see how we can reuse some things here. But anyway, so I want to reuse them, you know. Okay, here we are. And this is sell.gift list product. Here's that. Yes. Here's product. It has price. Product.price. Good. Okay. Count, name, image URL. All of that is good. No problems at all. Now, this extension is something we need to think about. I'm not gonna use it now, so I'm gonna comment out this and comment out this for the time being, and then I'm gonna remove these just for the time being. Okay. So now, if we're good here, we are able to do this. Now, where does these products come from? So basically, they all come from whatever is in the gift list, right? So basically, what I could do is I could come here and say that products dot clear or remove all, then products dot append contents of gift list dot products. So there's something like that. So I can do get them, add them here, and that the table should load. You know. So now if I run this, we should be able to see something. All right. Click here. We're able to see the cost of this, all of that stuff, and we're good to go. We're able to see what we are. You click here, you're able to see them, and you click here, you're able to see them, and the number is also correct. Right? These numbers seem to be correct. Let's add a new one that has only, let's say, 4 and 2 items. Testing or something. 4 and 3. Good. So we're good. Seems to be working. All right. Now, in order to show the list, right, the overall cost, you know, we'll also use the same function that we had here. Where is it? We had it in the create situation where we had compute total cost. You know, that function. I'm going to copy it and I'm going to paste it here. Total cost is 0, and then the overall cost label, you know, which is whatever is here. We need to wire up these labels. Here we are, and here we are. This is the name. So basically, this is the name label. Here is the name label, and then this one is the cost, overall cost label. Good. So that's this. Let's go back. Here it is, and we can do this, and we could do compute the total cost, and we can also do something like self.name_label.text equal to self.giftlist.name. So here is that. So when we run it, we are showing the name, and we're computing the total cost. Here it is, and we're computing the total cost. Here it is, we're showing the total cost, which matches whatever we have listed here. We're showing these total costs and so on. Now, the plus and minus is a little bit different, because now what we are doing is we are the plus and minus are a little bit different, because if you look at the functions here, they are expecting a product, you know. So what I will do is I can create another delegate if I want to, or I can keep the delegate and figure out which direction to go based on is the product null or no, because the product is nil if you're using the gift list view controller, but the product is not nil if you're using the create, right? So we can do something like that. So basically I can create copy these two functions here, right? And we go here, copy these two functions, and basically when you click on a product, I am interested in incrementing that product. In addition, I also have to make an API call. So basically I'm going to call it the gift list product. So I'm going to call it gift list product clicked. Gift list product increment clicked, and then similarly I'm going to call it decrement. Here it is, and this is going to be a gift list product. Okay, Control C, Control V. The only reason we did that and we didn't use the same function is mainly for the concept of parsing. But I could have done it one object, one class, because the two classes look very similar. They are exactly the same, by the way. I could have used the same class. I know when you're using JSON here, it's different. One of them is price per item, the other one is price, but we can still use the same object, but we have to do a little bit of logic to figure out which one to use which one when you are parsing to pick. But anyway, so this is this, right? And then here what I'm going to do is that I'm going to check to see if the product is not nil. So if the self.product is not equal to nil, right, then I'm gonna call this, right, here it is, Control X, Control V, and then similarly Control C, Control V. We'll do if the self.product gift list product is this, and then we'll do gift list increment, and we're gonna pass it the gift list product, right? Similarly, we're going to do the same thing here. Okay, here's the else if. We're going to do the same thing here. If self.product is not equal to nil, then we're going to do this, make this call, right? And then else if self.giftList product is not equal to nil, then we make the other call, which is product delegate dot gift list decrement clicked, and we send it the self.giftList product, right? So here it is, and we unwrap it. We're good here. So this is when the minus is clicked, when minus is clicked, and so on. Now what I'm going to do is it's not going to be happy, because now we could have got along with another delegate, but there are some functions we need to implement that we didn't need to implement in the start with. But anyway, extension product table view cell, sorry, this is gifts, gifts view list controller, and the product delegate is here we are. And then there will be some 4 subs. We only had is that. We don't need these two, but we're gonna implement them anyway to avoid problems. And then similarly, this one in the create, we have to add these also here. It's going to complain, right? Here it is. So we're good now. Okay, so now we need to handle the situation here. Let's see what we did in here. We incremented, reload. We need to call the API also. So this is the increment, and this is the decrement. Here is that. Alright, here it is. This is the increment. We reload the data, product.count. So we have a product and it's a let. So now let's go back again to the product, make it a var, because we want to be able to change it. So where is that? Here. We are changing the count. So this guy here. And this is a var. Alright, good. Here it is. And it is here. Okay, good. So that's this. Now we're changing the count. That's good. And cannot assign with let. We did fix that. Reload the table. So now at least the plus and minus will work. But now we need to make an API call in addition to that. So here we are. Click here. Click on the plus sign. It's not happening. Yes, because we didn't send it the delegate. So basically here we do this. And we send it the delegate. So run it again. We need to set the delegate and set the product. Both of them are nils, right? So we go here. You see here the plus and minus works, and so on. And they are working fine here, right? Now it's asking us to make an API call. That's all what we need to do now. So basically in the plus you need to make an API call in first stage. Okay, good. So now let's make the API call. The API calls are add item, right? Here it is, add item, and it's a post request. It has 2 parameters. We just made a post request couple of minutes ago, right? So let's say we set up a post request. This is the URL. Here is that. Create. There is a submit, right? So here is the create. There is a submit. So this is add new. We'll copy that from here. I'll paste it. So we are creating the. We need to do the add item. There's add item. That's the URL that we're going to do. So we'll say call add item, the call add item API, and then it needs what? It needs a GID, which is the gift list ID, and then the product ID. Good. So basically, let's say you get a GID and a PID, and here is the GID, PID, GID, and here's PID. All right, and that's the URL. The URL is here. All right, here it is, and here it is. Here's the add item. Here is the URL, and then what are we going to do? Let's see. Let's think about this here. We're not going to dismiss, right? Basically, we're just going to do this and then do what? I don't know. Okay, so that's the call that, and then we need to import some libraries. Let's import. I don't think we need Kingfisher. We do. Yeah, we do need Kingfisher. Let's see. Control C. I think we already have it here. Okay. Now call add item API. We're gonna call it here. GID, we say self dot gift list dot GID, and then this one we already get me the product, so product dot GID dot PID. Here's that. Now we're gonna do this. This is the add item. So basically we're saying adding item. So let's say adding item. Here it is, adding the product, and then we can do the other one, which is remove item. The URL of remove item, the remove item is exactly the same API, but the URL is different. Okay, here we are, and basically instead of add, we will just do remove. Okay, here's that. Now if we run it, let's see. The plus and minus works, but we want to make sure that does it work when we... Alright, let's see here. We click here, it has 7 items. Let's make them 1, 2, 3, and go back. It's still showing 7. So then when we go back, I would like to signal it to reload, right? I can signal it to reload every time you click. I don't know if it's worth doing that, but I can definitely signal it to reload by just when view did disappear or something. I can do something like that. View did disappear. I could do reload. So basically how to ask it to reload, I'm going to make a post. So there was a notification here somewhere that we had. We can send a notification, and that notification tells the one before it that you're going to reload, right? Okay. So that's what we are going to do here, right? All right. So let's see if this works. Or I will say view will, I think there is will appear, will disappear. There is a will disappear one. Let's try that. Alright, let's see if this works. Here we are. So when we go back, we just want to signal it to reload. Click here. Let's make them A4. Make them 20 items. There's 20 items. You go back, and you see it's showing 20 items. It does reload, you know. This is the minus. and you go back, it shows 3. Go here, make it 10. Go back, and it's done. Alright, so the button at the bottom is back, I think is the back button, right? So if you scroll down a little bit here, you see it still says back. So I don't think we need it for this screen. We already have the back button at the bottom of the so you don't need it here really. So basically I'm just gonna make it all the way here. Yeah, so it looks a little bit better. Or I can just set it up to dismiss, signal and dismiss. It's fine. Okay. Here it is. You can add, let's make it 12, go back, and it's showing 12 items. All right. Now you can format it to look better, but that's mainly the app. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.